I guess I'll... do you expect it to be a particularly long meeting?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because I was going to say I could try and angle it towards, like, a combat-heavy portion for the meeting, but, I mean, you know, that might not last all that long. Alright, just need to grab my tablet real quick. Like Vince drooled a little bit in his sleep. Since another meeting is going to happen, though, I will go ahead and switch to headphones. Alright, APR sees me. So, hello Internet. It is 2:03 p.m. on Friday, November 6th, 2020. I'm Mark Amsry, DJ Amstrack, and I am holding court here on the Throne of Games. Today I will be continuing Shadowrun Dragonfall. And yeah, last time we finished helping Blitz out, and then finished helping Blitz with clearing his debts, which worked very much against his creditor, because creditor decided to double-cross the wrong person, and I don't mean me. And then we went to help Glory with breaking up the cult at Feuerstelle. And as soon as my chat monitor is up, well, it's coming up. I'll go ahead and get the game starting. Okay, no unread messages. Pretty sure I don't have any pay data. No new posts. Hey Dietrich, anything new? Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new. Okay, I'm curious as to how this unfolds. Since when has he ever encouraged you to back down from a fight? You've got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down, ever. Not even from him. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities, I guess you'd say. Taking on some deserving organization and calling off the hunt for something more impressive than the Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. I'm never gonna bring down a corp or a poly club all on my lonesome. He shrugs. But maybe that's not a bad thing. It'd take a lot of the guesswork out of life. I don't know, boss. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. Why tie yourself to a specific group? I say keep it fluid, stomp anyone that threatens the flux. Isn't that what Berlin is all about? He cocks his head. Interesting. That's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second, I'll ask. He closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass. Slowly, a smile creeps across his face. Dietrich opens his eyes and turns to face you. Yeah, I think he'd like this plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? The Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Dietrich's grin widens. He looks more at ease than you've ever seen him. Well, boss, I've got myself a plan and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. You know, Dietrich, now that you've got a handle on your connection with the Dragon Slayer, you could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks could benefit from your experience. He nods. Yeah, boss. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit and fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. It's a good thought anyway. I'll keep it in mind. Okay. I don't have a ton of money. But there's also not a whole lot that I need to be spending it on. Oh yeah, and I only have 4 karma, so I can't really push that any further either. Hey, Absinthe.
Absinthe. So like an elf that wears green?
I mean, yes, but... If that spell lasted longer than 1 turn, that would be worthwhile, but I don't know. I didn't really go through all that many med kits last time, so I think I am stocked. Let's talk to Beckenbauer. I'd like to talk about your organization. Are you accepting donations? The new library is marvelous, VL. You have worked miracles for this organization. Our next goal is to purchase a set of trode nets for our new work training program. I have high hopes for this plan, VL. With these devices, we could teach job skills to the least educated members of our society in a fraction of the time that it would take for them to learn on their own. With 400 new yen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Yeah. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freund. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. I can scarcely believe it. With this donation, we have met our penultimate goal. I will send a volunteer to the Data Haven to acquire the trode nets. In the meantime, I will make the happy announcement to our guests. Thank you again, VL. You will never know how important you've been to the people I serve. It's my pleasure, Samuel. Anything to help. You are a true friend of the Kreutz Bazaar. Alright, assemble the team and travel to the OTK International offices to tap Knight-Errant communications in preparation for your run against Az-Technology. Okay, so Blitz is a must. And Glorian Eiger. I like Dietrich as a character, but he's already a shaman. He's kind of doubling my my player character role here.
Twice the spirits, twice the fun.
I mean, that could be true.
You could see the run would be quite spirited.
Heh. OTK International is a small-time software developer, and it shows. The company's main office is crammed up against the back wall of a massive shared office park, surrounded by competing businesses and larger corporations. A steady trickle of dead-eyed wage slaves flows in and out of the complex. The office park's main entrance is overflowing with hired security, but your forged keycard gets you past them easily enough. A few minutes later, you're walking the winding corridors toward OTK International. You're only a few smashed computers away from putting Amsel's plan into motion. Passing through the main doors of OTK International, you find yourself on a stretch of industrial hallway. Apparently the company is too small to warrant such amenities as a lobby or greeting area. The rest of your team is waiting for you at OTK's side entrance, outside of the office park and beyond the reach of building security. Letting them in should be as easy as opening a service door. As you pass by the open door, you see a middle-aged wage slave working at a console. His back is facing the doorway, and he doesn't seem to have noticed you. Ignore him and keep going. You keep walking down the hallway, half waiting for a cry of alarm. A few seconds later, and you're satisfied, the wage slave is completely oblivious to your presence. Lead the way. Oop. Standing in the hallway is a janitor, a tired-looking woman in her mid-30s. She is staring at you, her eyes wide with surprise. You can't help but notice the alarm panel set into the wall just behind her. With the flick of her wrist, she could make your job infinitely more complicated. Oh, excuse me. You startled me there. A look of confusion crosses the janitor's face as her eyes flit from you to your teammates to the door that you just let them in through. You are suddenly aware of how very out of place you look in this building, and the furrow in the janitor's brow tells you that she's made the same observation. Who are you exactly, and how did you get into this building? I'm an old friend of the development lead. We shared a dorm together at the University of Berlin. Uh-huh. She does not sound convinced. Look, how much will it cost me to get you to step away from that alarm? I can pay. Yeah, look. If you wouldn't mind hanging out right here, I think that security might like to have a word with you. No, wait, don't do that. Compelling though they may be, your arguments fall on deaf ears. The janitor smacks the panel with an open palm, and the shrill wail of an alarm klaxon fills the air. Shoot.
Or no.
Wait, seriously? How did neither of them get... I put both of them on Overwatch. Why didn't that... Ugh. You know, since that door is closed now. I think I actually want to go back and rather than sneak past, see what I can find inside of there. That might give me a little more leverage with the janitor. You begin creeping toward the wage slave. He's so engrossed in his work that he doesn't seem aware of anything else. Just over halfway across the room, the wage slave's body tenses. He begins to turn in his seat. Wait for him to turn around. The wage slave turns and blinks at you. Who are you? How the hell did you get in here? The look of confusion on his face disappears, replaced by suspicion. His hand edges toward a large red button mounted on his desk. Sorry to have startled you. My name's Jonathan. I'm the new contractor. Just wanted to stop by and say hello. Oh, well, hello then. I'm Klaus. He glances at his PDA. Good God, I could have clocked out an hour ago. Well, pleasure meeting you, Jonathan, and good night. Good night, Klaus. The desk before you is well kept, the papers are stacked neatly, the drawers are closed, and the terminal is shut off. Search the drawers. The contents of the drawers make it clear that this desk belongs to a supervisor of some sort, a Mr. Stephen Williams, according to the nameplate. You find plenty of employee performance evaluations, schedules of upcoming meetings and deadlines, and other decidedly uninteresting files and papers. One of the drawers, however, is locked. Investigate the locked drawer. The drawer appears to be secured by some sort of electronic lock. The desk itself, however, looks relatively flimsy. You might be able to force the drawer open. I don't have either the intelligence or the strength to get into that drawer. But I might be able to come back later for it. Turn on the terminal. Oh shoot, what was the name? Williams, wasn't it? 1337. Incorrect username or password. No. Yeah, Stephen Williams. The bookshelf is neatly organized and alphabetized. On the upper shelf is a framed picture of a young blonde girl with braces and a huge smile stretching across her face. The board is arranged in a grid of names and tasks, most of which seem to be in the completed category. In the corner is a note, Lucy Birthday Tuesday, do not forget. The filing cabinets have all been labeled in neat block printing by hand. They're all locked. A well-used calendar is hung on the wall, covered in notes and appointments. June the 29th has been circled about half a dozen times. Hey, Mom! Did you catch that?
Sorry, what?
Did you catch that?
No, I was trying to chase a name down. A Georgia person.
Okay. Yeah. A well-used calendar is hung on the wall, covered in notes and appointments. June the 29th has been circled about half a dozen times.
Yay!
That's her birthday.
Ain't on my birthday. I still can't be sure who this person is
Mm-hmm.
because they're listing two different Secretary of States for Georgia. I don't think you can have a pair. But he's very interesting, giving lots of, he had the detailed information in front of him about, what had been counted, what's not counted yet, what they're waiting for, the provisional ballots, and incorrect precinct votes, right county, wrong precinct. But out of a total of maybe a smidge under 5 million votes cast in Georgia, there were 15 non-citizens who tried to vote. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that it was any kind of, that doesn't mean it was fraud, anybody trying to perpetrate something. That could very easily just be people who are here as legal residents. They've got their green card or whatever, but never voted before and didn't realize that they were not eligible to vote.
Yeah.
But even if they did know, out of 5 million votes cast, how much harm
With
could
15,
people
yeah.
do? I'm not saying they should have let them vote. They didn't. They stopped them.
Right.
They said, "Nope, sorry, you're not eligible to do this." But
Yeah, voter
So,
fraud in this country is
yes, it's
vanishingly small.
it's practically non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does happen, it's not on a national level. It's
Yeah, it's usually on the local level, and it's usually on
very
the
local.
right,
Mhm.
and it's usually some old white guy taking a bunch of ballots from the opposing party into a bin in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amongst the various other items in the locked drawer, you find the supervisor's ID badge. Okay, here we go. Now then, this time... try that again.
I will do unto you.
We were the best of friends, really. If I could just get back there to see him, he'd be able to clear this up in a second. Yeah, look. Ah, dang. That didn't work either. I had thought that maybe getting that information would help me convince her not to do that, but... See if I can cow her. The janitor freezes in her tracks. Her eyes wide with panic. She raises her arms at her sides. Look, just don't hurt me, okay? I have kids at home. You can go wherever you want. She looks like a deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming truck. Through the glare of the room's halogen lighting, you can see that her eyes are brimming with tears. Please. I'm not going to hurt anyone if I can help it. Just move along and forget that you saw me, and I promise that everything will be all right. She nods, tears streaming down her cheeks. From her body language alone, you can tell that she's petrified. You've seen this look before. She's not going to cause you any more trouble. All right. Save again because I'm unsure how these drones will react to me. They aren't immediately turning hostile, so that's good. Hovering silently, the drones sweep their optical sensors over your stolen ID badge. A few seconds later, a synthesized voice chirps out of the nearest drone speaker grill. Level 2 authorization detected. Proceed. Whoop. Halt! This is a restricted area! The guard raises his weapon. His voice is brimming with excitement. Show me your ID! Now! Hold on a second. I need to go record my life. It was inconvenient timing.
What is happening? Why won't you find that file? realized that one wasn't in Unix form. Shit. How'd that happen?
Have you gotten a message from Dr. Sport Pharmacy?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
The guy is Gabriel Sterling, Georgia's statewide voting implementation manager.
All right.
Hell of a handle, but he's yeah, I kind of like him. He ran for Fulton County something or another. As a Republican. But he knows how to handle a news conference. I would not be at all surprised to see him go places. He did fuss at the news people for, he says, you keep putting your microphones where I need to put my computer. Because that's where all of his data is. I mean, that's every question they ask him, the numbers are there. That's what he's got to do.
Yes.
All right. So, which one of these will work better? Because it seems likely that they might recognize that I'm not the supervisor whose badge I have. But at the same time telling them that I'm knight errant when I don't look very knight errant. I'm not sure. He squints at your badge, scowling. After a few seconds, he lowers his weapon. Sorry to have bothered you, sir. You're cleared to be here, but stay where I can see you and don't leave this room. Don't worry, I won't.
But they won't let me stand close enough to see the ballots.
They're live streaming it.
Really, I haven't heard anybody mention, cameras. Like they do for cooking shows. Put cameras up above, and then everybody can see. But then, you don't want people's names going out over the internet to see how they voted.
Your nation. Oh, well, I guess they're signed, aren't they?
Yeah, the mail-in, and of course I probably can't read the signature, but... Did you hear about the two men arrested in Philadelphia? Came from Virginia Beach with weapons, including an AR-15 with an obliterated serial number.
Nope, but that's illegal.
With the, yeah.
Incredibly illegal.
They were there to straighten things out.
Uh-huh.
Very simple words, but very strong threat underlying those words.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, they're being charged with weapons violation. One of them has no, the other one had a concealed carry permit from Virginia, but that is not valid in Pennsylvania. You can't conceal carry in Pennsylvania with a concealed carry license.
Right.
Exactly.
Miss. Of course he is.
Certainly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's house have power again?
I don't
No,
know.
I legit don't know. There's two things I've been for most of this week, and that was power back and he subbed up. Yes, yeah, no, that was like wants to work for Walmart, but
Paycheck from Walmart, no paycheck at all. Speaking of paychecks, Mark, have you got any work done this week?
Not really. I mean, I got a couple hours in on Sunday, but I've just been, like, the brain fog has been awful, you know? And, like, if I can't...
is it thermally moderated or thermally indicated?
I do not know.
Because if it's like thermally induced, you might be able to get away with just noshing on coolant sticks while you work.
Yeah. But, I mean,
Wear a hat.
I've also been having headaches and taking ibuprofen, which lowers temperature, does not really affect it. Plus, my temperature's been under 100 for most of the week. Not much under 100, but
Well, Monday was 101.
Monday it was 101.
Okay, so that makes it sound more like it's just thermally indicated and the other problem's knocking the temp down. Interesting.
Video with audio, of course, because it sounds so doggone. Alright, that's all right now. You're gonna get a tummy ache. Just keep on eating. I'll give you some more later.
There. Woo, pay data.
Ice cubes behind that cup. Use like flat side down so that you've got the narrowest gap as opposed to laying flat where the curve is laying down. So, looks like that will place it enough that all of the drippy stuff will stay inside the cup.
Oh,
I
good.
think. I mean, it looks like that's positioned. usually had it full back wall a bit like that, but and then you just hoping it would stay there.
Oops.
Did you hear me say that I wanted to get Jacob Rosecrans to autograph this for me? Because it's just so absurd.
It is absurd.
Scary socialism, fright from the NRA, chilling disregard for the unborn. He's radically pro-abortion. He goes around knocking women up and then forces them to have an abortion. Everybody knows that about Jacob. And he was even endorsed by Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest abortion provider, because that's all they do is butcher babies. And he's been supported by radical leftist groups like the Sierra Club.
What? And moreover, the Sierra Club want to defund the police.
Who advocate for defunding the police.
The Sierra Club has been advocating for... When?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not in...
That's not part of their...
That's not in their mandate? That's not what they do?
Yeah, not at all.
Hey, Mom. Would you pour me some more drink?
Last I checked, the Sierra Club often call local law enforcement to help them deal with poachers.
Yeah.
It's like, that statement is complete madness.
Okay, I have what I came for, but what else can I get? Drone Control Center. Probably not going to be happy if I go elsewhere. The guard wheels to face you. Hey, what do you think you're doing? I told you that those doors were off limits.
And they call
Thank you.
Constable Benton Fraser if you fished over the limit. how much?
Especially if you're using dynamite.
Yeah, how much over the limit did Fraser say?
It's some number of tons.
Yeah. 14 tons. He was using dynamite. Ah.
How much over the limit? Yes. All the way.
All the way. Far over.
You fished all the way over the limit.
There are no more fish, living fish left in that lake.
Depending on the shape of the lake, a relatively small charge probably could slay every fish.
Yeah.
Shockwaves are destructive.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
Fish or even anything else.
It's liquid lung! Jam it in your fish hole.
Okay, Blitz can't do anything else from that terminal. Okay, well then. And let's see what I can make happen. If I do this. This is probably not what I want to do, but I am curious enough to investigate. Oh. Well now.
It's got a mess. It's got a mess now. Think about this.
The S doesn't stand for sucks.
Technically, the S stands for L. It's just its family crest.
Wait, what?
I was money shifting the meme there.
Oh, to
You-
Superman.
you're
Got it.
so
Got
sorry.
it. Superman.
Yeah. First it was an Angry Beavers joke, yes, because Daggett only had an S stencil.
He only had a stencil.
Yeah, it was a Homestar reference, right? Runner.
Homestar Reference Runner.
Joke. Thing. Then I finally shifted it from second to 8th gear and Superman joke. So I think I badly broke the gearbox.
That would do it, considering you have an awfully large number of gears as well.
Yeah, they weren't originally 8.
You just threw some in there.
I badly broke the gearbox. I think the clutch is fused now.
It's pretty bad.
It's stuck in 6th. Which also wasn't there originally.
So that's that area over there. Lately, whenever you've said that Danielism curse, my brain has gone to like YouTube video, world's sharpest dill kitchen knife.
World's sharpest pickle. Here's salt in your wound. What wound? Stab. Ow! Is that a pickle?
The U-Bahn ride home is smooth and uneventful. The high-ups at OTK International must be scrambling to try and cover their losses. It's only a matter of time before they make the call and Amsel's compromised data is uploaded to Knight Errant's comlinks. You're going to be rolling into Az technology with one hell of an advantage. Not bad for a night's work. And she doesn't have anything new to say. Which means that probably wasn't a big enough thing to actually tick over anything else. So... Viel, job well done, as usual, and the plan has worked swimmingly, I might add. I'm already patched into the Knight Errant comm system. If and when they summon their high-threat response team, I will know it. As soon as you're finished resupplying, I'd recommend heading directly to the Yevul district. I take it that's where the Azzy facility is? Amsel nods. That is correct. The Azzies control the majority of the district, and you will find their research facility at the heart of it. Considering the level of security that Az technology is running, I wouldn't count on medical evac being available on this run. In fact, I'd bet against it. That means that if anyone falls unconscious in there, they'll be buried when the building collapses. Obviously, you can't let that happen. I'd suggest stocking up on medical supplies before leaving the Kreutz Bazaar. Noted. I'll buy out Esgabel's supply of medkits and Bumona contracts. One last thing, VL. Frau Muller sent me a message while you were on the OTK run. She says that when you reach the sub-basement of the facility, you will find a security door. This door's maglocks can be opened via a voice print recognition system. Apparently, Frau Muller surreptitiously recorded your meeting. She claims that she has added your voice prints to the Az technology database. Interesting. Alright, go on. If our client is to be believed, you will have the necessary access to open the door. The rest of your team, however, will not. Once you reach that door, I'd recommend grouping up. Only you can open it, and there's no saying what you'll find on the other side. Frau Muller didn't tell you? Unfortunately, no. Since your meeting, her messages have been erratic. In truth, I'm not sure that she knows, but she was very clear about one thing. You're going to have to get past that door to reach the generators. Go now, VL. We need to strike while the iron is hot. I'm on it. Assemble the team and travel to Az Technology's Berlin compound to sabotage their bloodline research project. Actually, first, let's make a proper save, which I can't do here in the U-Bahn, I guess. Alright then, let's go back there. And I can't there either. Weird. Oh well. Maybe if I spend karma, it'll let me do it. Like, it's possible that it didn't trip any flags, so it's like, there's nothing to save. Why would you save? I'm not certain that's how it works, but, you know. Yeah, I'll go ahead and max that out. Okay, Glory, Blitz, Tiger. As technology, a giant in the worlds of technological and magical research, one of the most powerful and feared corporations on the planet. There are very few places in this world that the tendrils of As technology cannot reach. Germany is no exception. The black glass edifice of an Azzy pyramid dominates the courtyard of the Zitadella Spandau, and countless other more innocuous facilities can be found all over Berlin. The lab that they maintain in the Yevul district is one of these. According to your client, the project that the Azzies are working on here is dangerous. So dangerous that she's paying you to bring the entire building down. The Yevul district is everything that your client made it out to be. Corporate complexes of all description crowd into one another, competing for the district's limited space. You are leaving a controlled sector. Sie verlassen den kontrollierten Sektor. Lights burn in all of the windows, but the streets stand empty. No shoppers, no pedestrians, nothing but silence. Quiet out here. Friend of mine did a job here once. Told me that the local wage slaves are all issued efficiency apartments deep inside the compound. Apparently the buildings are all linked up on an underground tram system. Bed to cubicle in less than 5 minutes. Most days the poor bastards don't even get to see the sunshine. That ain't living. It's a slow death. I just don't get wage slaves, man. I really, really don't. Searching the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markings of the Schockwellenreiter. As Technology. This is an open request for research data from As Technology, Yevul District Branch. The Azis conduct their research in secrecy. They use their money and power to obscure the truth. We will uncover their secrets. We will share them with the world. We will level the playing field between As Technology and its competition. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, Schockwellenreiter. Interesting statue of an angel riding a lioness there. Your comlink buzzes. There is a series of clicks as the connection is established. A moment later, Paul Amsel begins to speak. Alright, VL, that's the As Technology complex just in front of you. You'll note the heavy security posted at the front door. Those are As Technology employees. They're dangerous to be sure, but you could probably take them without too much difficulty. Unfortunately, the Azis have also contracted Knight Errant to protect this facility. They're the ones that we need to worry about. Just to reiterate, you'll want to keep a low profile on this run. Get in and out as quickly and quietly as possible. Knight Errant keeps a high-threat response team on site, and you don't want to tangle with them. Trust me on that. If you do need to go loud, give it everything you've got. You're going to be reducing the building to a smoldering crater anyway, but I'd highly recommend stealth over a frontal assault. We won't start shooting until we run out of words. Good man. I'd begin by trying to find an alternative path into the building, something out of sight. Once the facility calls for help, you're going to be on a tight timetable. A shoddily built soy calf shop. Looks like it's closed. A human and a dwarf, both in their early 20s, stand huddled in the courtyard. They don't seem to notice your approach. She's been gone a long time, Mira. I'm getting worried. Aren't you? She's my girlfriend, Heinrich. Of course I'm worried, but she can handle herself. On the streets, yeah, but against the Azis? I just don't know. She'll be okay. Brave words, but her tone tells a different story. It's plain as day that she's worried sick. Oh man, I don't know what to do, Mira. And I still say that messing with the Azis was a bad idea. What else were we supposed to do? That compound of theirs is lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. They've got more power than they know what to do with. We need that juice, Heimer. Our solar collectors are garbage. If we can't keep the lights on after a few days of cloud cover, how do you think we're going to survive the winter? I know, Mira, I know, but couldn't we have just bought some second-hand panels? They can't be that expensive. We could have, sure, before Danny spent our last handful of Nuyen on those forged key cards. She straightens up, puts on a brave face. She'll be fine. She'll be back any second now. Just you wait. She looks up at you, her expression guarded. Yeah? What do you want? Could you two use some help? It sounds like your friend has gotten herself in trouble. Her tone is sharp. We'll be fine. What we don't need is a stranger butting into our business, so just go away, all right? Have a nice day. Mira, look at him. That's a professional. He can help us. He takes a step toward you, his arms wide. Please, man, we do need your help. She just doesn't want to admit it. If it's bad for the Azzies, it's good for me. I'll help you out. Oh, thank God. And thank you, too. He turns to Mira. Give him the spare keycard that Danny bought. He's going to fix this for us. You can see the mistrust in her eyes, but after a moment's hesitation, she begins to fish around in her bag. Finally, she produces a thick plastic keycard. She hands it to you. This'll get you into the utility tunnel. Danny went down there about half an hour ago. She said she'd be back in 10 minutes. Find her for us, okay? Please, bring her back safe. I will. But before I go looking, I'm going to see what else this district has to show me. Nothing over there. Cheap corporate art. Looks like marble from a distance, but up close it's clearly made of injection-molded plasticrete. This LTG tech's coveralls are smeared with sweat and grime. A scowl is plastered across her face. She takes a quick glance at you, then turns back to her work. Unless you're here to help me fix this panel, you'd better stay the hell out of my hair. Otherwise, I'll call security and have them drag you out. Have Blitz take a look. Quickly, Blitz shows her the problem, 2 mismatched connections. Hey! Yeah, you're right! She looks up at you. The scowl has disappeared from her face, but she doesn't look happy either. Look, I really appreciate the help, but I have to do this myself. I'm already way behind, and corporate's going to have my ass if I don't get it done before lunch. You know, if you're that far behind, you could always go catch up on your other work. Leave me to work on the panel. It'd be no trouble. Confused scowl crosses her face. I don't even know you, buddy. Why in God's name would I leave you alone with a panel that I'm responsible for? When did Az-Technology ever do anything for you aside from working you half to death? Let me take care of the panel and you can clock out early. I'll even spread a little spending money your way. You make a compelling argument. This job has been a load of dreck since they canned my assistant. Screw it, the panel's all yours. I'm off to find a pub. Okay. This panel is a mess. The lock on the casing has been broken and exposed cabling spills out in a number of places. Override the controls. But I'm not going in that way. That could be a useful escape route, though. Damn. Somebody spent a fair amount of money on this utility hatch, and it's plastered with the anti-tampering warnings to prove it. Take a closer look. A cursory inspection shows you that the hatch has been maglocked, a fairly sophisticated model from the looks of it. Short of using an authorized keycard, there's no way you're getting past this thing. Insert the keycard. The indicator light on the maglock changes from red to green. There is an audible thunk, and the hatch pops open, revealing a ladder leading down to the utility tunnel below.
So I thought I had a breakthrough. Yeah. I got that insane...
The lock appears to be short-circuited.
That didn't need a key file to work. Amazingly. Like, it'll actually is authenticating with a password. Which I thought basically wasn't possible without expect, but apparently it's not possible without either expect or this crazy solution. That I tried before, but it didn't work. Yeah, I got it working.
In an instant, you size up the scene playing out in front of you. A young elf dressed in the same shabby chic clothes that the cafe kids were. Danny, cornered with no place to run. A pair of Technology security drones closing in for the kill. The drones are low grade, but they're armed, and Danny's hands are empty. She's in trouble, and she knows it. The futility of her situation is written all over her face. An instant later, the drone's sensors alert them to your presence. They spin in unison to face you. Intruders detected. Weapons detected. Lethal force authorized. Danny's eyes widen and she hits the deck. The panic spills out of her in a scream. Look out!
Find a way to make it run as another user. Or Gary is going to have to make a home directory for every new user that wants to upload files via SFTP. Excuse my predatory grin. Yeah, any interactive SFTP activity. Automated ones were good. Like the job that ran last night should have been perfect, but I couldn't tell you. The other 6, probably perfect. He's worrying too much about it. Also, he's absolutely lying when he says that he's had SSH installed on there's too many S's. That he's had it installed on tests for ages. That's new.
Danny looks you up and down.
Production for 20 years, probably.
When she's finished sizing you up, she puts her hands on her hips and smiles. Thanks for the rescue. It takes a pair to bring a weapon into Azzy territory. Everybody knows that they shoot first if you're packing. I wouldn't have risked it.
It's not quite 20. However, that is just splitting hairs.
Heinrich and Mira sent me. They're worried about you.
Much newer than
Oh, Heinrich worries about everything. Price of being a dad, I guess. She smiles. Mira's got faith in me, though.
He just installed it sometime this week, I think.
Anyway, yeah, I'll admit it. I got in over my head, but only a little bit. The drones wouldn't have shot me. I wasn't armed. But I wasn't looking forward to spending the next week in an Azzy interrogation cell. I've heard stories. The stories are true. She shakes her head. You have no idea how lucky you are. If they'd taken you, you'd have spent the rest of your miserable life wishing you'd been shot. I'll take your word for it. I'm not planning on making a habit of this. She slaps the side of the power conduit with a smile. And I shouldn't need to. The tap's all hooked up and ready. Impressive. Heinrich wasn't convinced that you could pull it off. Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can teach yourself to do when your livelihood depends on it. Blitz leans in to inspect her work. Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid connection. Nice soldering job on those contacts there. I'd say that you're good to go. He straightens, casts a glance back at you. You know, Chief, we could use this setup to our advantage. It wouldn't be too hard for me to manufacture a power spike from here. We could overload the Azzy's power grid. Without disabling the generator's safety overrides, it wouldn't cause any permanent damage, but the confusion might give us an opening to get into the building. He shrugs. Your call, of course. Just thought I should bring it up. Danny's eyes go wide. Whoa, hold up. If you do that, they'll trace it. As technology will find the power tap and they'll come down on us.
That power, actually. Like you can, like SPM job absolutely has a user parameter, and you can slap in the user that you need. But that's a program.
We just saved your life. You owe us. Yeah, you saved my life, all right. But now you're talking about doing something that'll get all of us killed. Me, Mira, Heinrich. He's got a little sister to look after. What happens to her if the Azzies take us away? You're right. I wouldn't do that to you. You can tell your friends that everything's going to be all right. She breathes a sigh of relief. Thanks. You know, some people say that Shadowrunners are ruthless criminals, guns for hire, just out for the money. It's good to see that isn't always the case. I'm going to bail on out of here. I've been stuck in this tunnel too long already, and like you said, the others are worried. But if there's ever anything that we can do for you, come by the shop. You'll be welcome at our place for life.
Oh, oops. I misheard you. Sorry. If it's the impersonating the user, then yeah, it's just one solution for around. But if what you said was the home directory thing, every single user will need one. Because what FFTP does is it goes by the home directory environment variable for the user currently running.
Danny looks up at you with a smile. There he is, our hero. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for bringing her back to us.
If it exists,
yeah, thanks. And thank you for helping to keep the Azzies off of our tails. If Danny had been captured, it would have been bad.
if it doesn't exist, it can't find a place to
She reaches up, grabs Danny's hand, clutches it tight. Worse than bad, babe. A lot worse. She looks down at Mira and smiles, squeezes her hand tight. Anyway, thanks again for the rescue. We all owe you a lot. If there's ever anything that any of us can do for you, you just let us know.
I don't know. I have these user lists, but I don't know how much I can trust them, because there's one person who has to have access to that directory, but if we were to go find them, it is Tracy's because apparently not actually Amber. These are just six. Very likely. I don't know if he runs one of those, but we need to do it. In fact, I'm looking at the simplified version of my list. Is anything on the simplified one?
The glittering halls of the S Technology facility stand in sharp contrast to the megacorp's unsavory reputation. Everything in here screams money, from the mirror polish on the floors to the obsidian inlays in the walls. The generators and the Bloodline project lie somewhere beneath your feet. Nice work, VL. There have been no alerts thus far. Hopefully you'll continue to avoid detection as you make your way through the building. If an alert does go out, I'll get you an ETA on their reinforcements. But hopefully it won't come to that. I've marked an elevator on your PDA. I'd start making my way there if I were you. It's the most efficient path to reach your objective. Best of luck.
Well, if we want us working by this weekend, we may very well have to go with the Make Gary Convenient User Profile. A few user directories.
Oh, shoot. Really? Really? Great, that's just great.
Well, Gary's solution was that we aren't testing cautiously enough, and we need to, like, not do this yet, or at all. Process. Oh, the thing, making the user folders. Yes. He certainly could. Yeah, which we think is 7, probably. Oh, too long. He spent a lot of time arguing, a surprising amount of time fixing my home directory, which it took a while to convince him was actually not good. He went and fixed it. It went from frustrating to funny. It also didn't really make any real progress on the task. Like, it was amusing, but it was kind of a waste of time. But on the other hand, it did possibly change Gary's attitude a little bit because it showed him something was just plain wrong. Yeah, I think I need to get together a list of those 7 folks' user IDs and just chuck those at him and be like, hey, we just need to make these home directories, and I had a breakthrough, we need to make these home directories because it absolutely insists on making an SSH folder, but it's happy once it's there, or authenticating via password because complete sorcery. And that should honestly do the trick. I'll have a user test it one more time to make sure it actually works, because I've had a few unpleasant surprises like that. And I don't think we'll be golden, but we'll be at least kind of silver lined.
Activate the terminal. The terminal springs to life. A quick scan of its contents reveals little of value, but you do find a message that catches your attention. From Meyer, Fatima J. To Lang, Katya. Katya, I've got some pretty grave concerns about this new project. I don't know what they're doing downstairs, not exactly anyway, but I'm pretty thoroughly creeped out by some of the inventory requests that have been coming up to my desk recently.
I forgot the menus.
When we decided to sign on with As Technology, we talked this over. We knew the company's reputation, and I said that I could handle whatever came my way, but this? I don't know, Katya.
It's super easy for Scarlet.
This last order crossed a line. What would the research team need with a bulk order of gags, restraints, and 500 liters of hydrochloric acid? Uh-oh, I've got to run. Just got a message over the comm. Looks like Central wants to see me about something. I'll catch you back at your apartment later tonight. Let's talk about this over a bottle of wine. I know that I could use it.
Prospect of having to have.
Just a guess, Chief, but I'm thinking that she never got to enjoy that glass of wine. Oof.
Hey, should take less than that. Thanks. Here. At some point, I'll get to have lunch. I'm sure that sounded really weird from your end. Complete with peal of maniacal laughter.
These lockers are stuffed full of spare knight-errant security uniforms. Hey! Dress up. Grimly, your teammates set about struggling into the complicated and ill-fitting uniforms. A few minutes of cursing and a couple of popped rivets later, the job is done. You take a moment to examine your team, then nod in satisfaction. They look like a group of authentic knight-errant security officers. Well, that's handy. I'm all for avoiding a firefight if we can get away with it. He claps you on the shoulder. Good find, Chief. Oh, this is exactly the same node I was at before. Well, okay then.
Evilgrid.com. That sounded really weird.
What have we here? The screen to this terminal comes alive at your approach. An As Technology login screen awaits your password. Hack it. Hack it, Blitz. Pay data. Nice. DNA donor list. I need a snack. I will be right back.
You need a drink and a snack?
I already have a drink. Although it is starting to get a little low. It's a little under half.
The first was yesterday.
Yes, Thursday was yesterday.
I keep referencing this YouTube channel you don't watch. I don't know why.
Yeah. That was almost bad.
And the first war, the many first world warfare.
The elevator guard steps toward you, his weapon slung. I didn't hear anything about KE assets being deployed in this sector. Why are you here? I just got the assignment myself. Central wants a complete perimeter assessment. Strange. Did they give you any explanation for this request? Did they ever? No, of course they don't. Well, best of luck. Let me know if anything's out of order. It is my sector, after all. You got it, pal. And be careful. An intruder could be anywhere. He nods. Yeah, tell me about it.
Cheeky.
A worried-looking man in an expensive suit is pacing back and forth in his room. He locks eyes with you, and you can feel the fear radiating out of him. He looks surprised to see you, but not alarmed. Oh, hey, I don't usually see knight-errant personnel wandering around this part of the building. What's up? Just making my rounds. They've doubled patrols tonight. He looks relieved. All right. Well, I won't keep you, but it makes me feel safer knowing that you guys are around. Just doing my job. Your stomach lurches slightly as the elevator plummets downward into the bowels of the Aztechnology facility. A faint but omnipresent thrumming sound raises the hair on the back of your neck. The deeper you go, the more certain you become. This place is vibrating with power, both from the generators and from something else. Well done, VL. I'm not seeing any comm chatter to indicate that Knight Errant is aware of your presence. I've located a new exit point for you, a security door conveniently located near the generators. I will mark its location on your PDA. Keep up the good work, VL. I'll contact you if anything changes. The door slides open with a hiss, revealing a surprised-looking young woman in an Aztechnology security uniform. She steps toward you, her weapon drawn. Stop! Who are you? She half raises her rifle. Identify yourself. Calm down, my name's Muller, Knight Errant sent me. She sounds suspicious, on edge. Let me see some ID. Do me a favor and ditch the paranoia. Central sent me to relieve you. If what you're saying is true, why haven't we heard anything over the comms about it? Beats the hell out of me. I'd suggest you go ask Central about it. She pauses. That isn't protocol. This entire story is suspect. Are you going to report to Central, or do I need to go back there and tell them that you refused their order? Alright, we're going. Thanks for the heads up. Let's go clear this up with Central. Keep moving, VL. You're almost there. When you reach the control panel for the generators, the password Shalotl should allow you to disengage their safety overrides. Set the destruct and get out. See you back at the Kreutz Bazaar.
Gesundheit? This is best with the chiplet.
I misheard that is shitlith. To which my brain just goes, I think you mean coprolite?
Poop rock! That sounds like a horrible kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
You might say it's just...
Yikes. Not quite. A cursory exploration of the data store turns up nothing of value. There are hundreds of log files, the majority of which contain spending and logistics reports. I need some more to drink. I will be right back. I nearly put the Mountain Don't in the freezer.
Cool.
Oh! Halt! This is a restricted area! I just got word from Central. Our comms have been compromised and all authorizations are being threat stacked. My orders are to proceed to a primary defense point and await further instructions. He holds out his hand. I need to see your ID then. You know how Omega level clearance works. So hand it over, now. I'm not handing you anything until you show me your ID. His eyes widened, then narrowed to slits. You think that this is some sort of game? Hand me your ID or I will shoot you. You do that and you'll spend the rest of your short life wishing you hadn't. My uncle runs this facility. He stands bolt upright. Dr. Huitzelen is your uncle? I had no idea. Please carry on, sir. Nepotism! Oh, I need to take my pills.
And social engineering. Together at last.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Not gonna lie, Chief, this place is creeping me out. Yeah, and you're not alone. A maglock with a voice print recognition system has been affixed to this door. According to Amsel, Frau Muller has already logged your voice print into the system, but there's only one way to be sure. Okay, open up Authorization VL. The screen background changes from blue to green. Access granted. You hear the sound of heavy machinery rumbling to life. A moment later, the locks on the door release. The door slides open, revealing a group of figures wearing green cloaks. The nearest of the figures looks up from his work. His stare seems to bore into you. Who are you and why are you here? His voice is slow and soft Who are you and why are you here? His voice is slow and soft with a slight Aztlaner accent. Answer me. Now. Don't you recognize your own nephew?
If only you could quick save just to see what he does.
No, that's not an option. That's just me.
Oh. I'm surprised the writers didn't pull that level of cheek. That level of butt cheek.
We're your new security detail. Central sent us down here to familiarize ourselves with the lab. He pauses for a moment, inspecting you. Well, you certainly look the part, and more security is always welcome. But you understand, of course, that I can't just take your word for it. Of course you can't. Why don't you come a little closer? I'll show you my ID. Oh, no need, he smiles graciously. I know a better way of determining the truth. In a single smooth motion, he pulls a knife from his belt and draws it along his own forearm. The blade leaves a stripe of bright red blood in its wake. I don't like what this is setting up for, but, I'm curious. You stand impassively as the Blood Mage completes his chant. As the last syllable escapes his lips, a blinding pain ignites behind your eyes. Slowly, a horrible twisting sensation begins to build in your guts, and the Blood Mage's smile widens. Your tongue feels strangely thick, and to your horror, it begins moving of its own accord, crawling, probing, straining against the roof of your mouth, struggling for release. Somehow, on some instinctive level, you know that this sensation will only continue to get worse, and you know that speaking the truth is the only way to stop it. I don't have any way to suffer through it. Or I don't have any way to resist, so...
Are you here to destroy the place?
Yeah.
Dear.
You unclench your jaw and the words begin to spill out of you. They come in a torrent, in a flood. You tell him about your job, about your client, about Amsel and Monica and Green Winters, everything. You retch out the truth and the pain begins to subside. Well, that was very enlightening. Thank you for your cooperation, VL. I'll be sure to tastefully memorialize you in my report. Jeez. Okay, hold on. I am going to... I'm going to reload here. Because now that I've done the first thing, I feel like interrupting his spell might work out more in my favor. Aw, dang. Okay, so yeah, let's just attack right off. There's not really any way to get a better advantage by playing his by playing along. But just a moment, I am like burning up right now. So also while I'm at it, I'm going to switch off of headphones, so those aren't insulating my ears anymore. Oh good, and that didn't make the game confused and derp all over itself, as some games are wont to do when switching audio modes like that. Here's your answer, swine. The Blood Mage is caught off guard, but only for a moment. He adjusts with inhuman speed, drawing a ritualistic blade from his belt and dropping into a defensive stance. That was a mistake, fool. Your last mistake. Jeez! Drop me in the first round!
Why doesn't he even have the interacting with that guy?
He's in my way for the getting to where I need to bring the building down from. Uh-oh. I don't know what you just did, but I'm seeing a sudden burst of comm traffic. You must have tripped an alarm of some kind. Get ready, VL. The high-threat response team is on its way. Not really much I could do about that.
Did you need a different build to get past that?
I don't think so. I don't think there was much that I could have done. Actually, there was one grayed out option, I think, but I don't remember what it was. Okay, Blood Mage is down. Yeah, I'm not surprised that missed. It's worth a shot, though. Oof! Ow! Ow! Assholes! Whole asses.
Not those partials before.
No partials. Oops. She's fine. Jeez. Well, that's good at least.
Okay, the totals that ABC News has, they're apparently not getting them from exactly the same places AP does.
Right.
Because AP has the nationwide popular vote difference of 3.95 million, where ABC News at this point, right now, has it over 4 million.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got no proof. And he even said, isn't it strange how all these mail-in ballots, how they're almost all for Biden?
Yeah, because he
it's not
encouraged
strange.
his...
He told
Yeah.
people, don't vote by mail.
Yeah, no one's
It's
surprised
screwed up.
at all by that.
No, yeah, that's it.
Meanwhile, the Biden
And-
camp were encouraging people to vote by mail for their
And
safety.
not yes.
Mhm.
Especially in more densely populated areas where, because from some cities, it's not really safe to go outside your apartment. And it's not
Yeah. But yes, anyway, was smart enough to say, well, let's approach all along, and then that way, I mean, as soon as the pandemic popped up, well, I know, we'll preach against the mail-in ballots, because we know the other guys will encourage mail-in, and then
Never mind, mail-in absentee ballots have been a thing for decades and decades and decades.
And that Trump has voted absentee several times.
Never been a problem.
He's registered in Florida now. So, and he claims that absentee is different from mail-in.
It's not!
Even though you mail in your absentee ballot.
It's literally the same thing, he's just being a shite.
A huge shite.
A huge shite.
Yes.
That's a lot of dye in your food. Are you even eating clay?
They're good as dead, so... Who are you? Hey boss, I think that you should check this out. It might be important. I was afraid of that. Nice. All right, Blitz. Let's scout this out. There. This terminal has been locked. There doesn't seem to be any way to unlock it from here, but it is connected to a number of other terminals in the room. In theory, a Decker could probably enter the lab's dedicated matrix server and unlock the terminal from there, but doing so would almost certainly raise an alarm. Well, the alarm's already raised, so, The man in the cell stares at you through red-rimmed eyes. His body is marked with obvious signs of mistreatment and neglect. He opens his mouth to speak, then closes it again and swallows hard. He tries again, and the voice that comes from him is tremulous and weak. You have killed the masters. You slaughtered them like lambs. How is that possible? Just another day at the office. Want me to get you out of there? He continues to stare at you, bug-eyed and unblinking, his mouth agape. Me? Out? How could I go out? It is my place to be in this cage. It is what we were bred for. But you killed the masters. It is our place to die, not theirs. Sorry to disappoint you. The slack-jawed man looks genuinely confused. Disappointment? No, it is not our place to feel such things. My brothers and I are grown here, gestated in tanks to serve our purpose. The masters will it to be so. Purpose? What purpose? What are you talking about? We are test subjects. Our purpose is to suffer and die. His voice is utterly matter-of-fact. If any of this bothers him, he doesn't show it. In so doing, we provide useful research data. It is what we were made for. What can you tell me about the Bloodline Project? The mages wake us from our slumber, sometimes in twos, sometimes more. One is taken to another part of the facility, the testing lab. The rest remain in their cells. The mages run their tests, and the entire group dies. So the mages do something to one of you, and the entire group feels the effects? He nods. Yes, they haven't chosen a subject from my group yet, but when they do, my death will come. I won't hear the chanting, I won't see the mage, but I will share in the suffering, and I will die, and then another will be grown to take my place. Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore. The door's open, you can get out of here. His eyes go wide. It looks as though he's having difficulty processing what you've just told him. Out? But our purpose? From now on, your purpose is to do whatever the hell you want. Now get moving. He nods wide-eyed. Yes. Yes, we will run. All of us. Thank you.
Never heard of an ethics board, has it?
Of course not. There. Miss. Nice. Just in case there's something hiding back there. The terminal's display blossoms to life at your approach. Reams of technical information and arcane figures fill the screen. Unfortunately, none of it is written in a language that you can understand. Copy the data for later analysis. The control panel blinks with a featureless command prompt. Disable the generator's safety overrides. Administrator level password. Warning, disengaging safety overrides while generators are in operation is not recommended. Do you want to proceed? Do it. Safety overrides disengaged. Overload the generators. The terminal processes your command. An instant later, a high-pitched screeching noise erupts from the generators. Tremors rock the facility, shaking the ground under your feet. Over the building's speakers, a synthesized female voice repeatedly states the obvious. Generator overload imminent. Please evacuate the facility. That's it! That's done it! Come on, Chief, let's listen to the nice lady and get the hell out of here. The generator is going to overload sooner than the high threat response team is going to arrive. They slow. Oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't have hit the thing just yet. Oh well. I am committing sabotage. Oh man, yeah, they try and make it as hot as they can, and it just winds up not being very tasty as a result. I know what you mean.
Oh, darn. I can't chown a home directory for another user into their own ownership. I don't have that power.
Alright.
Did I forget to... Oh, you fired. Okay. I was like, did I forget?
Mom did, actually.
I forgot I tuned it up.
There we go.
Yeah. What kind of salsa did you get, Brian Jr.?
Right? Gradually, the ringing in your ears clears, and the world comes into focus. The generator overload did its job, just as Frau Muller said it would. The S-Technology facility has been reduced to a smoldering crater strewn with a chaotic jumble of cracked marble, melting plastic, and broken support beams. You can barely make out the faint wail of approaching sirens. They're still far away, but they won't be for long. Wow, Chief, that was intense. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course, but this was a little more dramatic than I was expecting. That's probably an understatement, but from what we saw in there, I'd say they deserved it. Yeah, Chief, that place just felt wrong. You could feel it in your heart, you know? Creepy.
She used a generator to take the building down?
Took down the safety protocols and then overloaded it.
Ah, overloaded that sucker. Okay.
Blitz steps back, blinking. A sudden gust of wind kicks smoke and dust into the air. The approaching sirens grow louder. They're now accompanied by another sound, the whine of approaching rotor craft. What they were doing in there was wrong. More than that, it was terrible. They had to be stopped, and we stopped them. It's as simple as that. We can talk about this later. We don't want to be here when those response vehicles arrive. The test subjects that you liberated mill about aimlessly, blinking against the light. The foremost clone takes a half step forward. But what of us? We have no purpose now. This is not supposed to happen. It is wrong. Without our masters to guide us, what will we do? Whatever you want to. You're free now. You're not supposed to be anything. Find yourselves a new purpose, and make it a good one. The lead clone stares into the crater, trembling. We will try. Iger puts a hand on your shoulder. Come on, VL. Let's get back home. Ah, the burning elk roast. Horrible, horrible freedom. Memories of the explosion that toppled the Az-Technology facility keep you company on your ride back to the Kreutz Bazaar. You barely managed to outrun the blast. Now the facility lies buried under thousands of kilograms of twisted rebar and reinforced concrete. No doubt a considerable blow to Az-Technology's activities here in Berlin. Mission successful. It's time to get paid. Get paid, get laid, Gatorade. $12 karma. that as well. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Nice, nice.
Very nice.
So many things in broken bodies.
Hey, Sam. How are things? Now you see, phrasing it the way that you do there, Steve, that makes it not a trick question. However, if you ask what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of gold, then there's actually a difference.
Only if you're from freaking Troy.
Are you accepting donations? The work program has been a rousing success. At this point, we only have one more goal in mind to round out the year. I've been in negotiations with Herr Burakazi to lease another building in the Kreutz Bazaar. The construction is much more modern and sturdy than our old shelter. Our people would be better protected there. In addition, the extra floor space would open up a host of new options for our organization. One other thing, VL. If we reach this goal, I would like to name the building after you. You are, after all, our primary benefactor. With 500 nuyen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. I can do that. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freund. I don't know what to say, VL. With this donation, we have reached our final goal. I will speak with Buragazi immediately and provide him his down payment. The VL Civic Center will stand as a monument to your generosity and care. Thank you once again. You have been a godsend to the poor of the Kreutz Bazaar, and I will see to it that they know it. The VL Civic Center. Has a nice ring to it. I am happy that you are pleased. You've more than earned it. Hey! Stop that.
If you're throwing money into a new civic center, do you raise money to pay house already?
That money goes into a different fund. I'm using my pocket money for the civic center.
Oh yeah, it's all done.
Yep. One moment. All right. I believe I will go ahead and sign off now. It is after 5 p.m. And I will leave the next bit of dialogue for Monday to act as a bit of a refresher right off the bat. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be playing 2 Point Hospital. And, like I said, Monday afternoon, more Shadowrun. So thanks again, and I do hope to see you next time. Later, everybody.